What's up guys, welcome back to Unlimited Reads. My name is Chris and today I'll be sharing with you my spoiler-free review of The Troop, written by Craig Davidson under his pen name Nick Cutter, written in 2014. This is his debut horror novel and Jesus Christ guys, this was a hell of a read. So let's start as always by what the book is about. The events take place on a remote island off the coast of Canada. A group of 5 teenage boys and their scoutmaster embark on a weekend camping trip, but their adventure takes a really frightening turn when a stranger arrives on the island, the Hungry Man. I mean, come on guys, this guy's so hungry he'll eat anything, including dirt, bugs and shit if need be. As the boys and their scoutmaster try to protect themselves from a deadly virus and the stranger, they begin to realise that something insidious is lurking on the island. The boys' bonds of friendship are tested as they struggle to survive against an unknown evil that preys on their deepest fears. As the days pass and the boys' mental and physical states deteriorate, they must confront the reality that they may never make it off the island alive. With gruesome scenes of violence and shocking revelations, you just can't believe this was an actual debut novel. It is incredible. Okay, so what did I like best about the book? There were several things. I think the writing first and foremost was great. It was sharp, it was crisp, it was clear, it was addictive, and you just wouldn't think that this was his debut novel. It is so well written, you would think he'd been at this gig for years. I think the story format was really well set out, because you've got the main story and then you find along the way it's supplemented with, for instance, a court transcript with questions and answers involving scientists involved in this experiment and a lance corporal from the army who is trying to justify his actions at containing the situation. So I thought that was a really smart way of breaking it up a little bit, because it just creates a bit of interest and it gives you subtle hints about what happened after the events on the island. So it was really well done. I liked the backstories of the boys. I thought that was really a really important plot element, a special character element, especially when you get a bit more information about the characters. So you would have the main narrative, and then in the same vein as Lost, you would actually have these flashbacks about what their life was like and how they developed as kids. And I think that's a very important element in establishing three-dimensional characters. So it just made the characters a lot more real to me, and that was really well done. And I really like how Nick Cutter captured that teenage angst and essence and infighting and fighting for dominance, very much like the Lord of the Flies, I would think. And I really thought the biological threat in the novel was very original. It was very frightening. I wouldn't want this thing anywhere near me. I couldn't think of anything worse. The revelations about what causes the severe hunger experienced in the book is something you'll have to find out about yourself. But there's some sick shit in this, and but I mean, that's a good thing. It just makes you keep reading. What did I like least about the book? Well, there's only the main thing that comes to mind is 2 words: chapter 30. I am not going to sugarcoat this, guys. This was a very difficult chapter to read. The scene was very graphic. It really shook me up a bit. And, you know, I like to think I'm a pretty seasoned reader of horror fiction, but it's not a long scene and it's not a deal breaker, but it will sit with you for a long time. It'll resonate. And anyone who reads the book knows exactly what I'm talking about here. It was a brutal chapter. You know, I had to take a break for a little while after it, because it shook me up and I just had to collect myself, because yeah, look, that's all I'm saying. Not going to spoil anything, but just be wary of it, because I thought it was the most difficult chapter in the book. And yeah, it wasn't fun to read, but you know, that was the only big thing about the book that you know, I wasn't really a fan of, but I guess it was an important ingredient in the story, I guess, but still very difficult to read. The only other thing I'll nitpick the book for, it's only a small gripe, but it didn't affect my enjoyment of the book. But I like to be honest in my review, guys. You all know that I love similes, and I'll read them out to you when I come across them, because I think they're a really important part of writing. But you know, this simile is how things are described. For example, here's one I whipped up earlier, and something like this: the ancient naked branches pierce the fog in a twisted, unheeded prayer to a ruthless God. You know, that sort of thing, how you describe things. And you know, I like to share them with you when I can, but this book is chock full of them. In the first half of the book, yeah, I was really impressed with the amount of similes that Cutter uses. He has a certain panache in doing that, but you know, when they're used sparingly, I think they work best. So, you know, it's like a big recipe and you have a pinch of salt here and a pinch of salt there, just enough to create that graphic imagery. Now, I got the impression that as the book went on past the halfway mark, that it was a little bit like showing off, if I can say that, a little bit self-indulgent. I just think that, you know, I think, you know, you can write really good graphic imagery, but just tone it down a bit, because you don't need to try so hard, if I can be so bold as to say that, because you know, a little bit like showing off. Yes, I love similes when they're done sparingly, but you know, every other page has a simile on it, and you know, it's not a bad thing, maybe a little bit distracting, but it's only a small nitpick, guys, and you know, that's just me. I like similes as much as the next person, but when there's a lot of them, yeah, it comes across to me as a bit like showing off, but you know, there you go. But overall, guys, I thought the book was really amazing. Don't read it with your favorite snack, okay? It can get a bit nauseating and gives you the squeamies, but that's all part of the experience, and it just means that the writer did his job well. You might even find yourself going to the medicine cabinet and popping a couple of worming tablets. So seriously though, guys, I recommend it. Just remember, chapter 30 is pretty confronting, and you know, it is a very good read overall. But if you've read it, I want to know your thoughts. Please put some comments below, and we can compare notes. But if you're going to read it, I think you'll enjoy it. The writing is superb. It's very professional, and as I said, how it's set out with the court transcripts and things like that is pretty smart. So it's just a really engaging story, and a frightening story. If something like this ever happened in the real world, yeah, I wouldn't be sticking around, let me put it that way. So there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. My next video coming up, it could be one of three. I'm either going to do my spoiler-free review of The Mother by T.M. Logan, which I'm reading at the moment. It may even be my guest author wish list, which I'll record soon, because I do want more authors on this channel to come and have a chat. I've got Mark Cameron coming on the 11th of March, which is very exciting. I may even do my cover reveal that I've got planned for a book that is coming out later in the year that I really want to share with you all, which is really exciting. But yeah, there you go, guys. Until next time, see you later.